Episode 67, Insomnia Stand-Up Routine.
Insomnia, the condition that makes you feel like you've been awake for a week, even though it's only been a few hours. You know what's worse than not being able to sleep? Trying to explain to someone what it's like to have insomnia. It's like trying to describe the color purple to a blind person. It just doesn't make sense. But let me tell you, there is a funny side to insomnia. For example, have you ever found yourself scrolling through social media at 3 a.m., only to realize that you've somehow ended up on your ex's cousin's girlfriend's profile? Yeah, that's insomnia's way of saying let's see how far down the rabbit hole we can go. And have you ever tried counting sheep? That's a classic insomnia cure, right? Well, let me tell you, it doesn't work. In fact, it just gives you more things to worry about. What if the sheep are too cold? Do they have enough grass to eat? Are they happy? And before you know it, you're contemplating the meaning of life instead of counting sheep. One of the worst parts about insomnia is when you finally do fall asleep, and then your alarm goes off, and it feels like you've only been asleep for 5 minutes. It's like your brain is saying, oh, you thought you were going to get some rest? Think again, buddy. But the best part about insomnia? The weird dreams. You know what I'm talking about. The dreams that make absolutely no sense, but seem totally normal when you're in them. Like, why was I riding a giant banana through a field of cotton candy? And why was my boss there, dressed like a clown? So, in conclusion, insomnia may be a pain in the butt, but at least it provides us with some ridiculous stories to tell. And if you're still struggling to fall asleep after hearing this, just remember that you can always count on your trusty friend Netflix to keep you company until the sun comes up. Thank you and good night. Oh, insomnia, that elusive sleep thief that keeps us up all night and makes us feel like zombies the next day. But you know what they say, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade, or in this case, if life gives you insomnia, make jokes. So, who here suffers from insomnia? Anyone? No? Just me? Great. Well, let me tell you, being an insomniac is like being in a secret club that you never wanted to be a part of. You walk around like a zombie during the day, and then when everyone else is finally ready to go to bed, you're wide awake and ready to party. Unfortunately, it's a party of one, with nothing but your thoughts to keep you company. And don't even get me started on the ridiculous things you do when you're sleep deprived. The other night, I found myself laughing hysterically at a commercial for dental floss. Dental floss. I mean, sure, it's important for oral hygiene, but is it really that funny? No, it's not. But at 3 a.m., your brain just stops making sense. But you know what they say, necessity is the mother of invention. And let me tell you, I have come up with some pretty creative ways to try and get some shut-eye. I've tried everything from counting sheep to listening to meditation music, to drinking chamomile tea, to even counting backwards from 1000. And you know what? None of it works. But hey, at least I'm getting really good at counting. But in all seriousness, insomnia can be a real struggle. It can affect your mood, your energy, and your overall health. So, if you're like me and you're struggling to get some sleep, just remember that you're not alone. And if all else fails, just embrace the insomnia and use the extra hours in the day to finally catch up on that long overdue to-do list, or to binge watch that new Netflix series. I won't judge. Hey everyone, good to see you all here tonight. So, who here has ever experienced insomnia? You know, that feeling when you're exhausted but your brain just won't shut off and let you sleep? Well, I've been there. In fact, I've been there so many times that I've started to think of myself as a professional insomniac. Insomnia is like having a toddler living in your brain who refuses to go to bed. You're tired, you want to sleep, but your brain is like, nah, let's stay up and worry about all the things we didn't get done today, and all the things we have to do tomorrow, and all the embarrassing moments from our childhood that we haven't thought about in years. And you're like, brain, please, just go to bed. We have to function like normal human beings tomorrow. One of the worst parts about insomnia is that it messes with your perception of time. When you're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, it feels like hours have gone by, but when you check the clock, it's only been 10 minutes. And then when you finally do fall asleep, it feels like you've only been asleep for 5 minutes, but then you look at the clock and it's been 4 hours. Like, what kind of time warp is this? But you know what's even worse than not being able to fall asleep? Waking up after a terrible night's sleep and realizing that you have to be a functioning adult all day. You're stumbling around like a zombie, trying to remember how to do basic tasks like brush your teeth and make coffee. And then you start making mistakes like putting your keys in the fridge and your phone in the trash can. It's like your brain is so sleep deprived that it stopped functioning altogether. But you know what's funny about insomnia? The things you do to try and cure it. I've tried everything from drinking chamomile tea to counting sheep to taking melatonin gummies. And don't even get me started on the weird sleep apps that are supposed to lull you into slumber with the sounds of rain and thunderstorms. I don't know about you, but the sound of a thunderstorm just makes me want to get up and make sure all the windows are closed. In the end, the best thing you can do for insomnia is just embrace it. Make the most of those sleepless nights by binge watching your favorite TV shows, or finally getting around to that novel you've been meaning to read. And who knows, maybe one day we'll all be able to function on zero sleep, like some kind of superhumans. Until then, let's just enjoy the ride, or lack thereof.
And that wraps up another laughter-filled episode of Not So Funny A. If you enjoyed the jokes generated by our AI algorithms, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our comedy-loving community.